Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Curley and I am a neighborhood captain in Echo Park. And I've been a member of DSA for a couple of years now and have gotten involved with this neighborhood organizing work because I wanted a more meaningful way to connect with people that live near me about things that matter in my actual neighborhood. And something really cool that's happened, since we started through the neighborhood organizing network in DSA, we were able recently to turn out thousands of people to Echo Park Lake in a protest and rally for Black unhoused lives. And that was in large part due to this neighborhood organizing effort that we're building.
And I'm Brian Williams. I'm a neighborhood organizer in Inglewood. I've been in DSA now for about 3 months now. And what got me into the NSN is just remembering when I was doing canvassing in my neighborhood here in South Central Inglewood area. And anytime you said Democratic Socialists of America, blank faces or just zeroing in on the socialism. No one knew what it was about. So when I heard that there was an opportunity to talk to neighbors about socialism, I jumped on it.
Before we jump in, we wanted to introduce you to two other comrades who are going to tell you a little bit about their neighborhood organizing work over the last few months.
Hi folks, I'm Esme and I'm a neighborhood organizer in the Sherman Oaks and Van Nuys area. I remember that when I first joined DSA, it was a little bit hard to find members in my area, and so I just really support this endeavor to help members from all over the city and county become more connected and more engaged in the work. Something cool that's already happened is really just building relationships, getting to know my neighbors and fellow members and be able to connect them to things that they care about, and also just build a sense of community within leftists in my area. So thanks for becoming an organizer, and we look forward to having you on board. Peace.
Hi there, my name's Angel Castillo. I'm the neighborhood captain for Pasadena. I wanted to become a neighborhood organizer because I think my personal journey of anti-capitalist radicalization has moved in the direction of realizing that top-down electoral politics purely is not going to inspire any kind of radical change, specifically because it depersonalizes engagement in political power. Doing it at the neighborhood level makes that even more immediate, because now I'm meeting people who literally live across the street from me. I've now learned that I have another comrade living catty corner from me in the same neighborhood. And so now I feel less alone.
Thank you so much, Esme and Angel. Now, over the next 15 minutes, Samantha and I are going to walk you through neighborhood organizing within DSA-LA. We're going to talk about the vision and the structure of neighborhood organizing, and then we're going to get into some specific details about the conversations you'll be having with your comrades and the tools you'll use as an organizer.
Our chapter's vision of neighborhood organizing is ultimately to make political change for socialism across Los Angeles. We'll do this by building our individual organizing skills so we can build power at the hyper-local level. Through neighborhood organizing, we can build the connections, relationships, knowledge, and power that the chapter needs to act as a cohesive body.
You're going to be meeting with other neighbors who hold socialist ideals and help to further those ideals in Los Angeles. Also, you're going to learn valuable organizing skills like how to lead meetings and how to empower people to participate in socialism themselves. And also, you'll get to inform chapter-wide strategies as you connect and build power at the hyperlocal level.
LA County is absolutely massive. Organizing at the neighborhood level is the first and best place for DSA-LA members to get involved and make a difference. As you invest yourself in your immediate community, you'll learn more about where you live, and that knowledge will help our chapter develop goals that are informed by each local context.
As we look to how neighborhood organizing is structured, let's look at a few numbers. DSA-LA is one chapter of almost 3,000 members. We're currently organized into 4 branches and 27 neighborhoods. And we want to build a mass organization where everyone has a part to play. We want to make it as democratic as possible. And in order to keep everyone connected and engaged and make it accessible to everybody, we estimate that we'll need about 15% of the chapter to be involved and with the neighborhood organizing work, which is why we're especially happy and excited that you're taking this training. So that comes out to about 450 mobilizers that we expect that we need. So we literally can't build this movement without you.
A metaphor we like to use when talking about neighborhood organizing is the central nervous system. Now give it a second, and we think you'll like it too. Whether or not you know it, you're made up of nerves that send signals from your brain to mobilize the body, and also nerves that send signals to the brain to help the body react appropriately to its environment. For both your physical body and the health of our chapter, we need information and action to flow to and from our membership and our elected leadership. The nervous system metaphor emphasizes that neighborhood organizing is not a top-down structure, but is a network of interconnected relationships and communication channels.
So as neighborhood organizers, you'll be making connections and building relationships within DSA membership and within your neighborhood. So to keep with that central nervous system analogy, you guys will be the nerves that are passing the info and essentially mobilizing the body. And you'll also be passing the information from your neighbors to the elected leadership to make sure that they are making decisions and planning the actions that represent the needs and the desires of your entire chapter. So if you think about how the neighborhoods are fractured, every neighborhood has its unique needs and its unique issues and unique hurdles. So with this way, we can see that actualizing socialism in one neighborhood might not look the same as actualizing it in another neighborhood. And this allows the elected leadership to make those adjusted changes.
As we start to move into more specific details, we want to give one more overview of how this structure works. So you are an organizer, and your job is to connect and communicate with a small group of DSA members that live near you. You have a captain or a group of captains assigned to your neighborhood, and it's their job to make sure that you have everything you need to build relationships with your list of members. Your captain is always available for encouragement, a morale boost, logistics support, tech troubleshooting, or if you just need help answering any questions you get from your neighbors as you make these calls. The captains work with the branch coordinators to ensure that information and communication moves between the elected leadership of the chapter and the organizing work you're doing with members in your neighborhood. And you'll hear this a lot, but your captain is here to support you. Never hesitate to reach out to them with any questions, needs, or ideas that you have. Okay, Brian, I think we're finally ready to talk about what organizers are actually going to do, which is have conversations with their neighbors.
Awesome. So your job as an organizer is going to be to talk to your comrades. First, what's a comrade, you might be thinking? Unlike your family, which you can't choose, and your friends, where relationships don't have to have a purpose, the comrade is somewhere in between there, where it's someone who you choose to engage with, but there is a specific purpose. And that specific purpose for us is always building socialist power together through the collective. Conversations are about building relationships. And those relationships are going to often be our closest ties in our fight to further these socialist ideals. So that's why it's very crucial that we take times to nurture and build those relationships. It's very important. There is a basic flow of the one-to-one conversations to help you get started, and then you can adapt that how you like to fit more to your style and be more natural.
Every conversation should start with discovery. This is where you'll ask questions and actively learn about your comrade, about the policies that are impacting them, the issues they care about, where they're already involved, what resources they need, or what resources they have to share. As you get to know your comrade, you'll help make a connection between their current experience and the political climate we find ourselves in. For those of you familiar with the conventional labor one-on-one model, this next step is a combination of agitation, laying the blame, and sharing the plan to win. We've simplified it here to a single term, stir. If you want to learn more about how to have effective organizing conversations based on the tried and true one-on-one model, you can check out the resources you'll have access to once you're fully onboarded as a neighborhood organizer. Stirring is what leads directly to mobilizing action. If your comrade is worried about paying rent, you can tell them about the tenant unions in your neighborhood. If they're having to work in unsafe conditions during COVID-19, you can share DSA resources about organizing your workplace.
So the most important part of these conversations is going to be the follow-up. Whatever you talked about, whatever the comrade was interested in, you're going to want to send a follow-up text or email with that information or the resources that you promised. So it's important that even if you don't know the answer, oftentimes we don't know the answers, that you can always reach out to a captain or other resources such as your Slack that we have available, because we want to show those people that we are there for them and that this is a two-way street.
Okay, we are in the home stretch. We're going to take a look now at some of the tools that you'll use to do the work of organizing. These are the tools that help with communication and organization so that, again, we can act as a cohesive body spread across such a large area. So the first tool is your member list. This is the list of people that you'll actually be calling and having conversations with. At first, you'll get about 10 members on your list, but you won't be responsible for keeping in touch with all of them. Not everyone that you try to reach will be responsive. And over the first month of making calls, you'll work with your captain to identify who on your list should stay on your list and who will be removed and put back into the larger pool for someone else to follow up with. And so it's really important for you to know that you can add or reduce the number of members on your list at any time by touching base with your captain. This is volunteer work for all of us. So the expectation is not that you take on more than you can handle. And if your needs change and you're able to reach out to more people, that's great. There's always more people to connect with. And if you need to reduce your list for any reason, for any period of time, that's always available to you as well.
So when you go to make your calls, you're going to find everything that you'll need in the DSA-LA website. You're going to have a short rap sheet for each call that's going to help you work through the discover, stir, mobilize, act, and follow-up steps. And we want you to remember that during all this, the conversation is going to be the most important part. It's more important than any one question that you can ask. Every week, the list of action items is updated to let members know how they can meaningfully contribute to building socialism in Los Angeles. And finally, there's a contact log. This is a short form you fill out every time you attempt to reach a comrade on your list. The contact log is an important part of the communication network, so please fill it out every time that you call or text or email somebody on the list. Even if you aren't able to reach them and having a conversation, it's important for us because then we know that we are trying to engage this person.
In addition to this simple contact log that you'll fill out every time you try to reach a member, there are also member surveys. And these surveys include more detailed information about the DSA-LA membership and help provide the chapter with important information to help inform chapter-wide strategies and campaigns. On the website, you'll also find links to an FAQ document, an organizer handbook, and other helpful links like how to join the DSA-LA Slack channel. If you have a question that isn't answered in this training, you can likely find it in one of the resources on the website. And remember, your captain is always available to help you.
All right, you are almost ready. When the training is finished, you'll need to complete a short training quiz and to make sure that you have all the basics covered. And if you haven't yet, you'll connect with your captain and then you'll get your member list and you'll be ready to get started.
So we know this has been a lot of information, and we promise as you get started, it will become very intuitive. And everything has been set up to make it as easy as possible for organizers to do this work of neighborhood organizing. In summary, after you finish this training video and you connect with your captain and you get your member list, within the next 2 weeks, you should reach out to every person on that member list and just have a short introductory call to introduce yourself and share some of the goals and the vision for neighborhood organizing. You can ask your comrade if they want to stay in touch to build socialist power in Los Angeles. And for those who say yes, and once you work with your captain to narrow down your list to the people you'll actually be staying in regular contact with, you'll follow up with that group sometime within the first month of becoming an organizer, and you'll complete those member surveys that help the chapter better understand our membership. And these member surveys You'll fill them out once, and you don't need to do them every call. You'll just update those as things change for your contact. So for example, if they get a new job or they join a union, or if their housing situation becomes unstable, you'll want to go back to those member surveys and update the information there. The heart of this neighborhood organizing are the check-in calls. These are the foundation of the work that we're doing, and you should plan on making monthly check-in calls with every member on your list. And we recommend phone calls, actually like getting somebody on the phone for these check-ins. During these calls, you'll ask your comrade if anything has changed since you last spoke. You'll let them know about the current action items that they can participate in, and just check in, build a relationship, build that rapport that is so crucial to organizing. And then finally, every so often, we'll mobilize the entire chapter or a specific neighborhood around a rapid response or a direct action. For example, there's a protest happening or a petition to sign, or there's an important vote that we want people to know about. These mobilizing efforts can be done over text or email or a phone call, whichever is easiest for you.
And remember, the goal of neighborhood organizing is to build the trusted relationships. I know I've been saying comrade a lot, so I'm gonna say it one more time, that we're building these relationships with our comrades over time to amass power for change in the political makeup of our city. So this is an organization that's ran off of people power, that's for the people, and you will be mobilizing the people. So you're truly invaluable to what we want to accomplish. So thank you for being a part of this work. And remember that your neighborhood captain is always going to be your best resource, and good luck.